On Monday, 10th of February, representatives from the Ministry of Health presented their opinions to Council about fluoridation of our water supply. They were met with a protest from locals concerned about the impact this will have on our tamariki and our taiao. I asked Dr. Rhianna Clark, Clinical Chief Advisor Oral Health, where the phosphate rock came from and how it was made.
Where does the fluoride that is proposed to be used to dose our water come from?
The fluoride used in New Zealand for water fluoridation is made in New Zealand. So we get rocks, they're imported, and the rocks are brought to New Zealand. They are brought to a plant, and at the plant, acid is poured on them, where half of them goes to become fertilizer, and then the rest is what's left, and that's what's used for fluoridation here.
Thank you. So it is a byproduct of the fertilizer industry?
Byproduct, yes.
Thank you.
While Dr. Clark did confirm that the fluoride they intend on dosing us with is a byproduct of the fertilizer industry, I was curious as to why she didn't say specifically where they sourced that from. This is what I found out. Since the turn of the century, Morocco has been the primary source of phosphate rock for New Zealand. However, the bulk of that comes not from Morocco itself, but from the nation they invaded in 1975, the Western Sahara. They now illegally occupy over 60% of the country, as shown in blue, despite an International Court of Justice ruling determining that it was the home of the indigenous Sahrawi people. The UN also ruled that the Western Sahara needs to be given the right to self-determination, which has never happened. Since the invasion, over 160,000 indigenous Sahrawi people have been displaced into vast refugee camps in Algeria, living in cramped, squalid conditions. The Moroccan occupation is regarded as one of the most oppressive in the world. Freedom House, a non-profit founded by Eleanor Roosevelt, based in Washington, D.C., recently gave it a score of 4 out of 100. Of the 210 countries surveyed annually, occupied Western Sahara sits just above the Gaza Strip and North Korea. By purchasing the phosphate rock used to make fluoride, New Zealand is helping fund Morocco's brutal occupation of this nation, depleting resources that are not theirs and disturbing the Sahrawis' ancestral connection to their lands. Our government condones the purchasing of vast quantities of blood phosphate to fertilise our farms. And by choosing to use the toxic byproduct to make fluoride for our drinking water is enabling the occupying regime to prosper, while the indigenous Sahrawi people suffer. By choosing profits over ethical business practices through the use of blood phosphate, they are potentially damaging Aotearoa's clean green image on the international stage. And by forcibly dosing our pristine water with fluoride, potentially causing irreparable harm to our mokopuna, tamariki, and our environment. So ask yourself this: are you happy with that?